Hello, you're watching a Deloitte Budget 2015 videocast. I'm Sally Jones, and I'm joined today by Julian Small, the global tax leader for our oil and gas industry. Hello, Julian.
Good afternoon.
So, falling petrol prices are great for families, but what's that doing to the North Sea economy?
So the oil price has halved over recent months, and for the North Sea, the companies that are operating there, that's a very significant reduction. It means we've seen job losses in Aberdeen and a significant reduction in activity for the oil and gas sector. Obviously, for the broader economy, it can be good news for people that are consuming oil.
And so the Chancellor has announced tax cuts. We're going to see a reduction in petroleum revenue tax and the supplementary charge. Is it enough?
I think it's a very significant move today. He described it as a bold move, and I would agree with that. I think it's a very necessary move. I think without a substantial change today, I think we could see a very significant decline in the industry. So the way the North Sea is taxed, we have old and new fields, as we call them. The old fields are subject to the petroleum revenue tax, and their marginal rate until today was 80%. And then for new fields, their marginal rate has been 60%. So what we see with the changes today is those rates come down to 50% for those newer fields and 67.5% for the old fields. And that makes a big difference to the economics for both existing projects that otherwise might be decommissioned and production cease, or new assets that companies are going to invest in.
And the Chancellor also announced a broad tax allowance for the oil and gas industry. How's that going to work?
That's right. So up until now, we've had this these sort of bespoke allowances, field allowances they're called, for particular types of field, be it high pressure, high temperature, heavy oil. And there's been a real plethora of different allowances, all quite complicated, and the criteria, a bit random really. It depends on what people have managed to negotiate. So today we see all of that replaced by a broad brush allowance for investment in new projects, and actually in brownfields as well, which means that again the tax rate can come down for those projects from the new 50% to as low as 30%, depending on the amount of expenditure. So the allowance is now linked to what you spend on the field, rather than the type of reservoir that you've got with the criteria that were somewhat arbitrary before.
So I suppose the big question is, has he gone far enough?
I think so. I think it needed a bold move today. Those tax rate reductions and that allowance, I think, will spur a lot of additional activity. I think the estimate is 4 billion of additional investment over the next 4 years. I think there's still more to be done around areas such as exploration incentives, but that's more around the edges. I think we needed something really dramatic to grab the industry's attention and make the North Sea more competitive to compete with other basins in the world.
Julian Small, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you to you for watching. Goodbye.